Hello there, beautiful souls and beautiful humans. Rosanna Rosie Glow Hannes here, live from the Algarve. This is the old guardhouse. This is the beautiful birthing pool that I am birthing my Star Piece Star Maps book into. I'm here writing a book. I was prophesied to write this book 6 months ago, back with the winter solstice. Now we're fast approaching the summer solstice in the Northern Hemisphere. I'm culminating, I'm manifesting, I'm bringing into the physical realm that which was just an idea, a conception 6 months ago. And this is the invitation of this current energy, beautiful souls. This is preparation for our next iteration, okay? Right over there is the ocean. The birthing pool here, this little house I will just call the uterus and the birth canal, and we're basically being prepped to grow into a bigger, greater, more expansive version of ourselves. Now, this is the gift, but what needs to happen in order to receive this gift? Well, we need to allow the bright, bright light that is coming with this solstice to move through. I'm resisting the word penetrate, right? But to move through us, to move through all the parts of us that like to hold on to the shadow element, that say they want change but don't really want to shift frequency to be that change, and to allow this light to activate the frequencies that will allow all our particles to spin at a level that we start to co-create in the physical realm. And I've been talking recently about transition in labor, and I'll come back to that in a moment, but this is kind of where many of us are feeling that we are, that we have conceived an idea, gestated it, we're now in the process of birthing it, and then it's like suddenly everything just halts and we're like, well, what's going on? There's no impetus. We don't know where the next bit's coming from. Like, what's happening? It feels like we're stalling. Are we really going to be able to push forward and birth this new ideal? Do we need to go backwards and kind of let go of this whole concept? This is where we are energetically. And so as I'm making this video, we have just come into the new moon energy of Gemini, and we are about to approach the solstice. Okay, so it's Monday, solstice is on Wednesday. If you don't yet know, I'm running 2 events to support those of you who want to make the most of the energies of this solstice. One is virtual on Wednesday, and the other is in person on Sunday the 25th. If you are in the UK and you're able to get to the south coast, then I'll be hosting it at Star Piece HQ, and all the details are in other posts here that you will find, or in the text box. But just before I go into reading the cards that are coming up for this particular time period, I've been given 2 messages to share with you, right? One is that the current energy is so powerful, it's like solstice on cosmic steroids, right? The photonic light coming through. I was seeing shapes as I was kind of half awake, half asleep this morning that were like I was tripping, right? There were golden, amazing geometric shapes going on behind my closed eyes. And I was like, wow, there's some really, really interesting shifts going on for all of us. But it's going to feel uncomfortable, okay? Here's why it's uncomfortable. Because although we say we want shifting, we want change, when it actually comes to it, we resist it. We typically do, because there are parts of us that don't believe we're capable, worthy, deserving, going to be able to maintain it. Maybe we'll be able to reach it, and then we'll tumble hard. There's all sorts of reasons why we resist stepping into our fullness. And yet we can't actually experience the things that we want unless we allow all aspects of our energy to shift to be a vibrational match for what we say we want. That's the theory. What's the practice? Well, it's about how you perceive what is occurring for you, right? For example, with the energy that's coming on with this light, it's similar to conception, right? We can have this idea that the sperm penetrates the egg, and it's all, quite aggressive and, necessary, but sort of hard work and full on and, not particularly pleasant. Or we can allow this idea that the egg is incredibly receptive to this sperm and therefore wants to soften and allow the sperm to enter through the wall that normally keeps everything out. And, this is the same way we can approach our own bodies and this light. Are we going to resist the energy coming in that's saying, hey, release this belief, release this thought form, release this old desire, release this old mindset, release this self-attack, release this judgment, release this duality consciousness? Whatever's coming up now is coming up for you to become aware of it in your thought forms, not to energize it, but actually to clear it and to release it. Right? And the analogy that I really felt kind of could help us to understand a bit more about the potential gifts that come from allowing a deep purge that this particular light is offering us is very similar to Kambo, to frog medicine. If any of you have actually ever participated in a Kambo ceremony, it's not a particularly pleasant experience, okay? You go through a purge, right? You purge that which is ready to be cleared from your body, as in toxins that are coming through that need to be released for the next level of clarity. And you set intentions ahead of time. What is it you want to energize? What is it that you want to align with? And then the Kambo moves through you and releases the resistance that's there on a physical and energetic level. Well, that is how I'm perceiving this solstice energy presently, okay? It is very much coming through us, and the process of releasing can be really short and intense, and you can allow yourself to take pleasure from it because you know it's a deep clearing, or you can push away at it, you can resist it, you can kind of moan that it's happening and therefore slow the whole process down. So my invitation to you is welcome the light, be receptive to it, allow the stuff to come up that needs to come up, and know that on the other side of that is this freedom, this spaciousness from more of your soul light coming in. And if you do find yourself in a space where you're feeling like transition is happening, so you've gone from the body, the uterus contracting at the top to open up the cervix, to then nothing happening until the muscles shift gears so that the uterus can start to push the baby out, whatever that baby is for you, your project, your idea, whatever you've been seeding. Just remember that this process of transition is a moment when it seems like nothing is happening, and yet so much is happening. Okay, it's the prep, it's the pulling the sling back for the slingshot, right? It's really a time of trust, a time to be aware of the fears and the thought forms that come up and release them with your out breath, but not attach any meaning to them. What good can come of this? How can this be the best thing that could happen to me? What am I making space for? If things are leaving your life unexpectedly or expectedly, know that this is part of the process. It's essential to create the space for what is better than that. And if it's something that you've been holding on to because you felt that it defined an element of your being, well, you're going through an upgrade. So whatever it defined, now there's an even greater version of you to meet. Are you ready for that? Because that's what's happening. So let's look at the cards. And again, I'm just going to remind those of you, if you do want to join me to do some deeper work with this solstice energy, because the truth is, it can just pass people by. Like, you know, you can feel a bit like a heat wave. Ooh, it's a bit intense. Ooh, I don't know how long this is going to last for. I'm looking forward to the rain. And then eventually the rain comes, right? That's kind of like solstice energy. You can wish for it to pass, which is a shame, because actually the potential healing, the manifesting energy, the potential that's available for every one of us to have a huge quantum leap in the direction that we want to go in is what this solstice energy offers us. But we have to welcome it, line up with it, allow it to penetrate and merge with us. And however you want to look at it, like, the wording can seem quite sexual, it can seem quite sensual even, and tempting. But this is the point, is you want to work with the energy of temptation in such a way that we're tempting the light to win, to prevail, to triumph, okay, within each of us. So let's see what the cards are saying. And this is a time of releasing deep fears, okay? So I'll tell you the story of the snake in a moment, but basically, for all the fact that I run a course called Fearless, Loved Up and Limitless, if you want to see Rosie Glow lose her marbles, it is if there's a snake on the loose, because Rosie doesn't like snakes very much. She likes to know where they are, but if they kind of show up by mistake or unintentionally, they freak her out. So back in 2019, there was a snake, whoops, in a pool, by the pool, where I was staying in Grand Cayman. And I tell you, no lie, once I saw it, I went into my version of rigor mortis, and I didn't come out of it until we actually left Grand Cayman 2 weeks later. Roll on, 4 years? Yeah. So the other day, just here, along the front side of the pool here, we saw a snake come from one side, through the pool and over to the other side. About yay long. Kind of looked like peacock colours, right? It's like, wow, there's a snake. Wow. How very, very interesting. And basically, what ended up happening was I didn't panic. I didn't have my heart rate go up. Nothing major happened. It was all good, right? So what has happened for me now is that I have just allowed myself to go, oh, things have shifted. Oh, I don't have quite the same level of fear as before, except when I thought there was something grabbing my hip here, I did jump a little bit a few minutes ago. So, you know, there's definite improvements, and this is the thing to remember, is to keep celebrating how far you've come. You may well still have further to go, but celebrate how far you've come. Notice how your body responds differently to the same stimuli. That will tell you how far you have come on your journey, okay? Because our nervous system reset takes time, and for all of us to learn to live in the thrive paradigm rather than the struggle paradigm, which is what this photonic light is helping us to do and connect with, we need to shed the fear, shed the stress, and align with our version of success. So I'm now uncrossing my legs, seeing what this little reading is all about, so I can share it with you. This energy of Gemini, new moon, bringing in the solstice frequencies. What is it we need to know? What is it we want to know? What is it that's going to help us to actually have the best experience of this solstice energy? Heart of the matter. Daring to have a new conversation, daring to want something different to what you've wanted before. That means allowing yourself to say, I'm bored of this. I want to know what else there is. I keep saying I want this thing, but I'm not actually sure that I do. What might I want instead? I had the thought the other day that I was like, I might be bored of running a business actually. What else is possible? Do I really want to keep doing this? And it's really good to review stuff, everything, including relationships from time to time, because when you ask yourself, do I really want this, you get this opportunity to recommit at a deeper level to everything that you say is important to you. So let's see what the block to this is for us. So this is about our eternal nature. This card, so this is about our human nature, if you like, and the desire to have something more divine, more inspiring in our lives than the humdrum of the day-to-day that we're used to. This one here is about accepting our divinity, the eternal nature of our soul consciousness. So this is the block. We get scared of letting things go. We get scared of meeting our fear and doubt in case change happens. And if change happens, oh, that's terrible, because that means that there's an ending to something, rather than us focusing on the fact that there's actually a beginning to something too. There has to be an ending to be a beginning. And owning that you're bored of something, owning that you're getting to the point that you want something more than that, is a necessary precursor to the change that you desire. The here and now, what we're actually working through. So this is what everyone's being invited to, both in my online and my in-person events for the solstice. It's the full activation and integration of the light body. We have to strengthen our energetic structures. I call this our divine architecture. Every time we get the opportunity to up level with more light, we have to strengthen the divine architecture so we can receive more of our soul light in our bodies. Now, that means that we need physical practices, sound practices, movement practices to allow us to create expansion for more of that light to enter. So this is always the invitation with the solstice, is to activate your light body in a more expansive way. Now, the way to do that includes needing to ground, okay, needing to stabilize, to ground, to earth. And let's just see, to be able to do that, rooting down allows more of your voltage to be able to move through your body without it causing a short circuit. So the here and now leads us to the resolve and the infinite possibilities, which are, this one's been coming up for a while. So the courage to break through, to move through, to burn away fear, the courage to burn away that which no longer serves, the courage to shine out light. You've got a sword of fire, you've got a shield of light here, and the two work together. And they work together to allow us to shine our light brightly and to meet anything that is a threat to that light with the holy fire, the transformational fire. This is the sun energy, my friends. This is that which burns away what no longer serves us so we can have the experience we want. What does this lead us to? Full activation of earth and soul chakras, full activation of our divine human selves. We've got the light body activation, we've got the holy fire, we've got the Holy Spirit, we've got the divine human, the relationship energy, There's a lot of power here. This is about relationships. It's about your relationship to yourself. It's about your relationship to your significant other. It's about your relationship to the divine. These are the elements that we are covering. So if you want to take this journey deeper, my friends, I'm going to invite you to join me on Wednesday. So BST, it's 1 till 3 p.m. I appreciate that's going to be pretty early Pacific time. It's about 8 a.m. I think, 9, 10, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. On the 21st, we're going to be doing a summer solstice workshop, and that will be by invitation only. There's a charge. Today is the last day, early bird offer, valid. So it's £44 going up to £66 tomorrow. And obviously we're going live the day after tomorrow. So even if you can't make us live, you can pay for the replay and you can have it and do it in your own time. What I'm inviting you to do is to make sure you email me with a reflection on the questions we've asked you in our marketing, so that I can actually respond to that in the live, whether you catch the replay or not. So, the more you prepare with your intentions and you allow yourself to really contemplate what it is you want to do with this solstice energy, the more powerful an impact the energy will have. And some of the shifts I've seen in those who came along to my New Year workshop, the way they've been clearing the way to allow that which they want to manifest in their lives is huge. And some of us, including me, have been taking stratospheric quantum leaps in our lives, which have been, not going to lie, terrifying. How do we harness that energy? Do we, allow it to make us step back and freeze in fear, or do we actually use that energy to help us to move forward with passion, with desire, with that thrill of the experience, and enjoying the fact that we're actually elevating beyond that which we know, rather than enduring that process of, do we call it liftoff? Do we call it moving to higher altitudes? That's what I would say. Okay, so that's going to be the as I said, the online event on Wednesday. If you want to join me live, if you're in the UK, we've got an all-day event on Sunday the 25th, and that's at Starpiece HQ, which is my home. Again, I'll put the details in the text box, so if you do want to participate, then do get in touch. Ideally today, if you want the early bird offer for both of those events. Otherwise, from tomorrow, you've got a little bit more time for the live on Wednesday or on Sunday. Mwah. Sending you so much love, beautiful souls. Please do comment. Let me know how you experienced the information I shared today. If you have any questions for future videos, let me know as well. You can DM me or put a message in the comments. And as I said, for details on the workshops, on the solstice events, you can just check the text box out. So much love to you. Enjoy the energy.